the members, including senior professors in this cell, have cooperated and various subcommittees. They have also made active participation and cooperation making this program a grand success. So once again, I welcome to our Vice Chancellor, Pro-Vice Chancellor, ID, then our subcommittees, IQSC members, faculty members, teachers, and all the stakeholders in this program. And I also welcome to our resource person, Dr. Ashish Manachari, who is from Cochin, and he is IIM Ahmedabad alumnus, and have visited several countries and actively, I can say, a trainer to various trainees in various occasions. He has visited many universities, academic staff colleges, now HRDC centers, and various other marketing and industrial certification courses. So we welcome you, sir, on this occasion. Session will have like as usual. Then second session will be chaired by our resource person, Dr. Ashish Manachari, and in post-lunch sessions we will have second session, and that is the theme of these accreditation programs. That's why we have invited all our section officers and above, because these people are actively involved in the data compilation and data forwarding to ITC and compilation of self-study report and annual quality assessment report. So once again, along with IQSC, I once again welcome all the administrative staff, registrars, joint registrars, assistant registrars, and section officers to this one-day assessment and accreditation program.
अभिनंदन ज्ञान स्रोत इस मंदिर का, शत शत नम वंदन अभिनंदन ज्ञान स्रोत इस मंदिर का। धन्यवाद है परमात्मा इस पुण्य धरा को रचने का, शत शत नम वंदन अभिनंदन ज्ञान स्रोत इस मंदिर का। गर्व हमें इस विश्वविद्यालय आश्रय विविध कलाओं का, उत्कंठ सतत नवोन्नवशत और नवोचन विदाओं का। असीम आकाश की संभावना गढ़ता सदा तत्पर, उत्कृष्टता मृतता और शिक्षा दे धारण कर। आओ मिलकर सकल विश्व में मान बढ़ाए गढ़ने का, शत शत नम वंदन अभिनंदन ज्ञान स्रोत इस मंदिर का। चतुर्दिक जिसमें रीति प्रीति सम्मोहित ग्राम, लोक कला और संस्कृति परंपरा का अंगिन का। बौद्धिक चेतन शोध हमारा हर उत्सव इन गाँवों का, सुख दुख में सहभागी हम उद्योग निरंतर उज्ज्वल का। परमात्मा हमें आशीष दो, परमात्मा हमें आशीष दो, इनकी बात ऊंचा बनने का। परमात्मा हमें वर दो, हिंद महासागर बनने का। परमात्मा हमें वर दो, हिंद महासागर बनने का। सारी बधाई पार ज्ञान हो विस्तार, सारी बधाई पार ज्ञान हो विस्तार। शत शत नम वंदन अभिनंदन ज्ञान स्रोत इस मंदिर का, शत शत नम वंदन अभिनंदन ज्ञान स्रोत इस मंदिर का। शत शत नम वंदन अभिनंदन ज्ञान स्रोत इस मंदिर का।
प्रोफेसर सर, आपको आमंत्रित करने से पहले कुछ शब्द पढ़ना चाहूंगी आपके संबोधन में। प्रोफेसर Manachari, he is trained at Harvard Graduate School of Education and on educational leadership and an alumnus of IIM Ahmedabad. He holds an earned PhD in emotional intelligence and trained in applied and clinical psychology, and possesses 22 plus years of experience in industry, academics, and has served as a professor adjunct professor and dean at different management schools. He is a renowned author and has written 6 books, 1 book chapter published by IAFE, 26 articles, and 1 monograph. He is the author of Happiness, Love, and Peace, a guide to experience life to the fullest. इसी के साथ देवियों एवं सज्जनों स्वागत करते हैं QMPG कोचिन के उपाध्यक्ष माननीय डॉक्टर एस.सी. मेनेसरी सर, आपका स्वागत है।
One with Special Secretary Education, Government of Arunachal Pradesh will be also joining to us shortly.
I am in the field for past 70 to 80 years as a different national international standards. I joined as an associate professor and as a professor and I was also dean around 7 to 8 years. Then I moved to industry back due to one reason or other. Audited more than 1,100 mandates in different industrial workplaces on different management systems. And only on K-12 higher education and knowledge management, there is a NAC code for students. Spent more than 94 mandates assessing different organizations on different standards. There are different standards in the area of education, international standards. For formal education as well as non-formal education. So whenever an NAC peer team is coming, peer review or high-level team is coming to your organization, they will audit you based on these 7 criteria. The university standard will go up once you compete with IIT. Is that okay? Shall I go ahead? Fine. Now let's go to second. First is over. Let's go to second. Teaching, learning, and evaluation. See, it talks about basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 sub criteria. So everything you will get a mark. Okay, the first one is student enrollment and profile. Student profiling is very important to identify, understand the student. How you can identify the student? His background, his economic background, his exposure, whether he is coming from a remote village or his previous knowledge, percentage of marks, languages that he knows, his parents' knowledge. So this all goes for the student profiling and enrollment. Is that clear? Do you have the records? They will ask for records. This is to provide individual learning experience, understanding, putting ourselves in the student's perspective. Second, catering to student diversity. There are 3 types basically. Addressing to special needs SPN. What is that? A student may be having some learning disorders, speech disorders, writing disorders, ADHD, attention deficit hyperactive disorder, or ADD, or maybe not normal, maybe obsessive OCD, or it may be anything. Psychologically, we can understand the way I talk. So understand the special needs. If there are any, maybe one gentleman may be physically handicapped, so you have a ramp or not. So if every department will have a rank, you will get full marks in that particular area. Especially or physically. Then comes gender diversity, ratio of female and male students. Then national and international diversity. How many students are coming from outside India? How many students are coming from outside the state? Depends on the area. Second is teaching learning process, the core process. Teaching learning process itself is very much interesting because there are 3 levels for teaching learning process. One, teaching. Okay, then we run away, we go. Second, verification of teaching effectiveness. How do we do that? Verification of teaching effectiveness. Then verification of learning outcomes. There are 3 levels. Teaching learning process. How do we do that? I don't know, NAC may be so much interested in going through all your records, but at least your academic calendar planning will be there, right? Then every portion, whether you have covered or not, in that particular, as per the plan, whether it is there. But how, if they ask you, if a person like if a person with an international exposure is coming and auditing, this is the NAC team, peer team, he may ask, how do you verify teaching effectiveness? Then you have two choices to respond to that. Telling first one is our adult learning or they are postgraduates and they have taken care of that. We don't verify it. There is a second option here, I verify my teaching effectiveness. There is a professor, his name is Arnab Laha. He is one of the most loved professor in IIM. Both myself and Professor Parida, he taught both of us. The moment he comes to the class, he will open his laptop, he will take random numbers. We had 30 students, 30 professors as students under him. He will take random numbers. He will ask questions to 5 individuals. That will be whether they provide the answer or not. He will mark it. We record it. In IIM, so he is checking whatever has been taught on the previous day, whether it has been understood in a random way. Please understand. He will record it also. So design of assessment, ongoing assessment. Whatever has been taught yesterday, he is recording. You can check. Most likely, professor, he is a product of IS. There is a statistic ISI Kolkata. Professor Arnab Laha. Very strict in IIM. Professor Errol D'Souza, the present director, taught us. He knew the same. Present director of IIM, Errol D'Souza, economist. He knew the same. Not only that, after 1 week, he will ask again whatever has been taught 1 week before, and he will record it. He is testing the long-term memory. Initially, he tested the short-term memory. So he is assessing a student in the classroom, ongoing, remembering, as well as whether he has understood the concept. Lower 2 domains he is checking and he is recording. Internal marks are based on that. Please understand. 40% internal marks that is being given to the student is based on this assessment. Lower level remembering and understanding he is assessing. He is recording it. 40% internal marks direct mapping to. It is being mapped to what? In an Excel file. He will not ask every student and he will not shout also. Sit. He will not come and criticize or change. He will ask, understand, short-term memory and long-term memory. So lower 2 domains is verifying and checking. Please understand. In big management shoes, master degrees they are doing that. I am not talking about K12. We are going through the process. Okay, now how we are designing our assessment methodology, ongoing assessment, formative and summative. That is, you have to do that as a central university. And you have to demonstrate records how you are doing it for each courses. Design has got a lot of importance when coming to central universities and autonomous universities. Because it is, the design makes whom? Makes the graduate learner who is going out. If the rigor is less, he is of no use. If the rigor is strong, he would contribute something. With respect to the present context. And every day the environment is changing, please understand. Machine learning, artificial intelligence, IoT, wisdom building. Environment changes in a very big way. So, see, in UAE as of now, I was there two months back. In UAE, in 11th and 12th standard class, Department of Education will come and audit the students, ask students, okay, what percentage of, while teaching, how much percentage or what percentage teachers use the active methodologies, active learning methodologies. Which is less than 50, that schools affiliation they will lose. Please understand. They will lose that affiliation. In UAE. Yeah. So, design of teaching methodology, design of pedagogy in UAE is mandatory to have more than 50% active learning methodology. Active learning needs to be emphasized, not passive learning.
Now, implementing system. We are going to discuss very deep about this, how we can implement a system. And see, how many of you have heard about a quality plan? We are suddenly getting into an area that integrates process quality. How many of you heard about a quality plan? How many of you worked in industry? Raise your hands. So can you tell me what is a quality plan? A quality plan is something, a plan that ensure quality in basically receiving stage, in process stage and final stage. So here the intent of the quality plan is to prevent the occurrence of a problem. We are going very deep now. Well, I am going to show you what we are going to tell. So the broad objective of education is to enhance the power of expression. But in order you to express, there should be some concepts within you. Now, on the second process stage, handling class, next day of the class, next week of the class, assignments and exams, both formative and summative. Second, projects or field experiments or lab at work and in life. So we have mapped that also. I repeat, we are discussing about a quality plan that we may implement in our classrooms to ensure quality in every stage. We can see what on the left hand side, what is the broad objective of education? To enhance the power of expression, because we can only understand the other person the way how he or she is expressing. That is the only way. The projection is the only way to understand the other person, right? And the I is coming out from inward to outward. That is expression. So then comes process stage. There are 5 process stages based on the requirements. While handling the class, why you should ask questions while handling the class? To check the comprehension and understanding. Not after the class, not while discussing about the subject. After discussing the subject, you take some random numbers, ask 5 students, what is this, what we have discussed, tell me. You may ask, define the questions as you want. So while handling the class, the purpose is what? The purpose is what? To check the comprehension and understanding. See, ask questions. You have to ask questions. Expected outcome, comprehension, concept formation and verbal expression. Then comes record. You have to record it. If he is answering, you have to record it. Not answering, you have to again record it. A tick is positive, a cross is negative. If he answers, ticks, cross, you only need just one sheet of paper for 1 month. This system I am developing now. Okay, it's in the trial run stage. Then what is the second one? Next day of the class, ask questions. What are you checking then? Comprehension, concept formation, verbal expression, short-term memory. So whether the student do have the memory about what he or she has learned on the day before. Checking the short-term memory. Again, record it. Random sampling is the method. Okay, there is a sheet over the data analysis sheet where you have 3 sheets for 1 month for the 60 students you have in the class. You will get a pattern then. You can take, if you have a laptop, you can, in Excel you can create random numbers as per your students. How much time is required? 30 seconds. There is one professor called as Arnab Lahaha in IIM Ahmedabad. Highly rated professor by students. He does this every day, even for us, when he taught us for 4 months. Every day coming to class, random numbers, he will ask questions to us, he will record it. So beautiful. I didn't understand why he is doing. Such a great professor in IIM Ahmedabad, why he should do.
How, if they ask a person with an mathematics course is coming and auditing, this is the NAT team, POV team, he may ask, how do you verify teaching effectiveness? Then you have 2 choices to respond to that. Telling first one is our adult learning, or they are OCR units and they have to take care of them, we don't verify it. There is a second option, I verify my teaching effectiveness by asking questions next day. After question, ask whether I am checking the short-term memory, and checking whether whatever I have been taught has been understood by the student. Conceptual clarity, whether concept has been verified or not. After 1 week, again I am asking the question, I am recording. So I am checking what maybe very strict. If I and you are committed really in the process, then you may practice. Practicing is very tough, but good people, committed people, they are doing it. After 1 week, you check for the long-term memory, and also check for what? Concept formation. Concept formation is a key. So I check for whether my teaching, whatever has been taught, whether it has been understood by the student conceptually or not. Second, how I am putting him in a designing environment to put into practice, application level, evaluation level, synthesis level, final integration. Am I giving a project to him so that he will do the project and get the things done? How I assess my teaching abilities. Verify my teaching abilities by asking questions next day. After question, ask whether I am checking the short-term memory, and I am checking whether whatever I have been taught has been understood by the student. Conceptual clarity, whether concept has been verified or not. After 1 week, again I am asking the question, I am recording. So I am checking what maybe very strict. If I and you are committed really in the process, then you may practice. Practicing is very tough, but good people, committed people, they are doing it. After 1 week, you check for the short, long-term memory, and also check for what? Concept formation. Concept formation is a key. So I check for whether my teaching, whatever has been taught, whether it has been understood by the student conceptually or not. Second, how I am putting him in a designing environment to put into practice, application level, evaluation level, synthesis level, final integration. Am I giving a project to him so that he will do the project and get the things done? Then evaluation processes and reforms. This is one area that I told earlier. Evaluate the child, learner, and what are the reforms that we are initiating for that. So maybe perhaps you did conducted a summative assessment. You gave a exam after 2 months. You could understand that his handwriting is very bad. I am not able to read that. Then you give an evaluation telling that you will improve your handwriting, work on that. I am not able to read whatever you are writing. So written expression you are giving evaluation. That's the initiative the process is doing it. We do it for our children. So you are giving an evaluation on written expression. You have to improve your written expression. Then only I can read it. So please improve your handwriting. And record it. Have an anecdotal record for that child, learner. Anecdotal record. Technically it is called as anecdotal record. So student evaluation process and reforms is not only limited to summative and formative assessment. The ongoing evaluation feedback is generally provided to the learner so that he will improve. It may be anything, creative process that it has to come out of you. Where I become a respectable teacher, professor. But nowadays, maybe at least in the southern part of India, people don't like it. It depends on the circle of influence I have with the child, with the learner. So I am just mentioning the reforms part. It is your choice. That's all. Next, student performance and learning outcomes. So what is the learning outcome? You have already defined. I will show you a design document that we are following. Now for non-formal training or education, I will show you. See, I will show you something. It's very interesting how we do it. Okay. We are a training company with a $500,000. I am a part of a training company with a $500 million turnover. Sai Global Assurance Learning. It's a US company. So we conduct training programs. So I will show one design part of it, how tough it is. So this is a design document of deconstructing a program called as deconstructing anger. This is a demonstration. How we do it. It's a 2-day workshop that we do. It's a non-formal education. The object of the workshop is to deconstruct anger from a behavioral perspective. See, contents of design document, deconstructing anger. Objective of the workshop. Broader objective, value stream mapping, targeted audience, assessment and review of delivery process, resources required, workshop guidance, assessment and review of training effectiveness. There are 3 levels, training effectiveness. Preventive action, correction and corrective action, effectiveness of training, continual improvement, that is long-term sustained improvements. You can see here, one by one I will show. This is the perspective, I am just sharing the perspective, that's all, okay? See, effectiveness of training, expected behavioral outcomes. It's very clear. we are expecting behavioral outcome. Second, continuing improvement, long-term sustained improvements. So the focus is not on imparting not only knowledge, the focus is also to provide. Then it is clearly defined. See, I'm just sharing, I can share this document with you, but don't share it to anyone. See, workshop deconstructing anger, design document. Conceptual learning 30%, activity based learning 70%. See, objective to sensitize and provide experiential learning to delegates about deconstructing anger, perspectives of anger, its root causes, possibilities of unlearning anger, its challenges, relearning with a positive emotion, cognition and behavior. Relearning anger, co-conditioning anger with a positive emotion. Then comes the introduction and perspectives, opening up and ecology check, unlearning perspectives and techniques, and relearning perspectives and techniques. Broader objective, perspective building 30%, skill enhancement 70%. Hope it's clear now how it is, learning outcome, how to. In that learning outcome is clearly defined in every session. Session wise, behavioral learning outcome is designed. So I thought of showing that how to design a learning outcome. Okay, learning outcome is expected behavioral learning outcomes after the course, both conceptually as well as at the action level of behavior. What is the learning outcome? Skill to be gained by a particular skill that need to be gained. Skill means demonstrable level. See, we can write a 5-page essay about typewriting, but being asked to typewriting, you know that. Okay, being asked to do typewriting without error, 60 words in a minute. Can we do that? That is the demonstrable skill level. Then teacher profile and quality, that comes your part. How you and I, ensure ongoing continuous improvement. Continuous improvement. Continuous improvement is like this. Like stock market. Continuous improvement, you cannot get this word in Bible and dictionary. Continuous improvement is like grow, stack, grow. It's like staircase. Continue how we evolve as how we sharpen our soul to be a better effective teacher. So key, research, publication, peer reviewed, ABCD categories, nationally, internationally. So teacher profile and quality. You can publish in UGC journal, you can publish in ISI journal, you can publish in a next one, Scopus. You can publish in the respective ABCD journals. A category, A plus category. So that is all about teacher profile and quality. How we ourselves demonstrate excellence in our chosen field. It's a quest of excellence. There is no limit to it. There is no end to it. So that is teacher profile and quality. Second one is our core process. Can you go to the next one?
One question, in case of special needs, suppose you have a student who has not taken, we have a special needs quota for the students. Suppose you have a student who has not taken, admission through that process has declined, has gone through the normal process. In that case, in terms of the data, can you show it, or what is it exactly in terms of?
Now, special needs, what is being defined as any cognitive problems, learning disorders, speech disorders, then any problems related to your handicap, etc., etc. There are mandatory requirements that need to be followed by higher education institute, prescribed by.
No, I'm saying that is there. The student has. My question is different. The student has not taken. You get those students in through special quotas. You've not given them an admission to that particular quota. So my question is, suppose they are coming to the general quota, and since we need to show this catering to student diversity, can we show them or not?
Okay, so go for the intent. If you want to demonstrate it, and if you have to score marks, they would not have admitted to the special way. Maybe they would have come for general merits, but you can demonstrate if you are wrong. There is nothing bad in that, nothing wrong in that. There is no integrity problem over there. You are doing it, you can demonstrate. Perhaps they would have come through their own merit channel. That's okay. There is no see whatever. If there is no integrity problem, demonstrate it. Is honesty problem, demonstrate. It's real, right? Even for general quota students, we are providing special. We are addressing to the special needs. That means wow, it's a wow factor.